Markdown is a plain text language you can use for creating notes, documents, and readmes on GitHub and other websites. In this video, we're going to quickly cover the basics of using Markdown. To use Markdown, you need a file that has the MD extension. Create a file with .md at the end of it. In Markdown, headings have a hashtag in front of them, and paragraphs are written as so. You double space pretty much everything in Markdown with a couple exceptions. The spaces signify different paragraphs. To preview your Markdown and see what it looks like, click this button with the circle in it and you'll get a preview in Visual Studio Code. You can also resize this as well. To create bullet points in Markdown, do minus signs and then a space and then the item. These do not have to be double spaced. To create outlines in Markdown, you can just indent them by adding spaces in front of the bullet points. I prefer tab, but you can also use spaces as well to accomplish this. To make something italic, you can put asterisks around it. And to make it bold, do 2 asterisks around it, and it'll be bold. This applies to your lists too as well. You can also make these bold or with italic. To do a strike through, do 2 tildes, which are below the escape key on your keyboard. They're the little swirly thing. Do 2 on this side and 2 on that side, and it will cross it out. You can similarly do numbered lists as well by doing the number and then a dot and then a space. These also don't have to be double spaced. To create subheadings, you just put extra hashtags at the end of them, and you can make level 3, level 4, level 5. The higher the level is, the smaller that these will be. So you can have subheadings and subheadings of those, etc. To create a link in Markdown, you do the square brackets for what you want the text to say in the link, and then you do parentheses around it for the actual link. If I click this, it actually goes to google.com. To do an image, you do the same thing, but you put an exclamation mark in front of it. Let's find an image of a cat. Going onto the Wikipedia page for cats, I'm going to click this image right here. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to copy image link. On Google Chrome, it's copy image address. I'm going to paste it inside of the parentheses. And there we go. We have a picture of a cat. Similarly, let's say that I have the image actually in this project here. Instead of doing the link, I could also just do / and then cat.jpg. Dot means this current folder. So in this folder, we're finding a picture called cat.jpg. To write code, use backticks, and these are below the escape key on your keyboard. They look like single quotes, but they're kind of diagonal a little bit. Similarly, to do multiple lines of code, you use 3 backticks to begin and then 3 backticks to end it, and it will create this. You could also use these instead of just using it for code. You could use them for quotes or other things as well that you want to highlight. Lastly, a more advanced technique in Markdown is to create a table, and you can do so like this by drawing out the table. These are pipe characters, which are above the enter key or return key on your keyboard, and these are minus signs. One thing to note is the table does not need to be perfectly formatted. Some of these can actually be a little bit bigger or something like that, and it's okay in Markdown. In general practice, if you're working with these tables and updating them a lot, you will have columns that look like this, and that's totally fine. Last thing, I'd like to give you a quick example. This is the README file for the adventure games series that I do as another series of videos in Python. We have a paragraph up here with a link to the YouTube videos. We also have an image here because there's a exclamation mark. In here, we have a numbered list for a quick start that people can follow as a guide. And you might notice that code is throughout this. Let me show you a preview of this. It ends up looking like this. So you have a link here, the image, and then a quick start guide. One quick tip when you're authoring a document that people are going to use is to test it out on people. Conduct what's called a usability test. Have somebody run through these steps and don't help them at all with it. The document should be 100% what they should use to accomplish this. When they run into issues following your document, those are things that you can improve your document on. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you have a good rest of your day.